Hey guys, just wanted to add you get a promo code for Thrive Cryo Studio if you use the promo Sumo Lifts. You can enter that promo code on their website, or if you walk in, just let the receptionist know promo code Sumo Lifts, and that is after your trial 2 session intro period. We'll talk about that in the podcast. Okay, thanks.
Let's go.
Check.
Mic check.
Mic check. You're solid.
Awesome.
How you feeling?
Feeling good.
I love it.
I'm feeling good.
I love your energy. It's the first time actually talking to you.
Yeah.
You got me nervous throughout the day.
Why is that?
I don't know. Because I feel like this is like a big thing for me.
Is it?
I don't know. Because before it's more like me and the fitness field.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm kind of like getting out of my
Into
zone.
recovery?
Huh?
Like into like recovery and overall health?
Yeah. I'm getting in the zone where I'm not knowledgeable as much.
Well, I'm going to teach you, man.
I love it.
I'm going to teach you.
Okay. Let's go. 3, 2, 1, go. Welcome back to the Catch Up with Bryan Sumardi, where I feed on my curiosity. That's what I was talking about. Today's special guest is Brandon Yu, owner of Thrive Cryotherapy.
Thrive Cryo Studio, where we do cryotherapy. Yep.
Gotcha. I'm really excited that I have you here.
Thanks for having me on the podcast. I'm excited.
Thank you.
I've been listening to a lot of the people and inspirational, and
yeah,
I'm glad that I can be a part of it.
Nice. I think more it was luck having you work or be a member at the gym. But I want you to introduce yourself because I don't know as much.
Yeah, absolutely.
So tell me more.
How far do you want me to go in? Just like my overall history or how I got into this? A little of everything?
Okay, let me structure it then. How long have you been into
Cryotherapy?
Cryotherapy, yeah.
So I've been using cryotherapy myself for about 3.5 years.
Okay, so prior to you owning this.
Yep.
Okay.
So I use cryotherapy myself as just a regular consumer.
Okay.
For really bad tendonitis that I have in my elbow. So I was in the corporate world, worked a corporate job, managed a team where I was traveling with my team all over.
Okay.
And every city I would go in, I'd go Google cryotherapy and go use it for myself.
I see.
And as a result, I fell in love with it.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, I saw there was a need for cryotherapy to be in the DMV area.
Gotcha.
The closest one at the time was in Sterling, and I live in Rockville.
Yeah.
I want to travel to Sterling.
You're like scratching your own itch. Basically.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay,
and always had that entrepreneurial spirit, and decided I was going to make this successful, leave my full-time job, and start this up. So we started in 2016.
Okay.
And we have 2 locations now. Mm-hmm. One here and one in Annapolis.
Okay.
So one in Rockville, one in Annapolis, Maryland.
Gotcha.
And we also have a mobile unit that we take to different events and sports teams and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I see a lot of your stuff on a lot of social media, and I love it.
Yeah.
What's your plan on it? Like, how do you plan on keep growing it, or just kind of finding whatever has your interest and kind of like, I want to work with you. I want to work with you.
Yeah. I put a plan together when I first started the company, and since then my plan has changed probably 10 times.
Gotcha.
So
always willing to adapt.
Exactly. It's always good to plan, but at the same time, I'm open to anything. Yeah. I think the biggest thing that I'm most passionate about still to this day that I was day one is educating people on what cryotherapy is, how it helps.
Okay.
And just now, I was a big believer myself because I used it and it worked for me. But now I have hundreds, if not thousands of clients that walk through this door that swear by it. I mean, I just told you, I read you a text before we got on here where I get a text message from a client who came in yesterday for the first time. And she said, I worked out today. I probably wouldn't have been able to if I didn't do cryo yesterday. And these are texts and stories that we hear all the time. And it's not just fitness related. It's overall health related. It's depression, anxiety. It's sleep. It's severe medical conditions and diseases. So
okay, that just like blew my mind real quick. I'm definitely gonna hold off for that question.
Yeah, absolutely.
How did you find out about cryotherapy?
ESPN. So
Tell me more.
Yeah, so it was kind of ironic. Call this kind of fate.
Mm-hmm.
That day, I went to my orthopedic because I was having really bad pain in my elbow.
Okay.
And I did it because I thought I was a powerlifter like you. I tried to bench a lot of weight.
Yeah.
I tweaked my elbow.
Okay.
And I didn't let it rest. I just kept lifting day after day after
So
day.
you just kept punishing it.
Got to a point where I tried to lift a coffee mug and it radiating pain down my arm.
Gotcha.
So I went to my orthopedic. We did kind of the MRI and stuff.
Isn't ortho your feet? No.
What's that?
Orthopedic? Or I'm thinking podiatrist.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
So orthopedic surgeon, and he said, it's just inflammation, really bad inflammation. We'll give you a cortisone shot, and you'll be good to go.
Okay.
I don't know if I want a cortisone shot. So he was like, all right, here's some anti-inflammatory pills. Take this. And it was kind of just a boom, boom,
just
here,
get you out the
take
door.
it.
Right.
Exactly. So I go home that night. I'm watching ESPN, the Dallas Mavericks. That was the year that they won the NBA championship. They were the oldest team in the league.
That was 06? I don't know. 04?
No, it was
that?
No, it was after that. It was 5 years ago, maybe.
Okay.
I don't remember exactly.
Gotcha.
And they were talking about how refreshed and rejuvenated they felt on court, and they would ask I specifically remember Jason Terry, who's a basketball player, and he said, "Cryotherapy, look it up."
Okay. I would assume Mark Cuban would be the one saying,
right?
All the players.
Exactly. and then there was an article that came out about how professional athletes are freezing their bodies at negative 240 degrees.
Okay.
So
that's
I
the first football.
Exactly.
And ice baths.
Yeah.
So, but all right, keep going with your story.
Yeah, and so that's where I first heard about cryotherapy, and I thought it was the craziest thing. These players are going into negative 240 degree temperature.
Yeah.
To be quite honest, I didn't believe it at the time.
Okay.
But yeah, that's where I first heard about it. I didn't know what it was, and I also thought professional athletes have access to way more than anyone else.
I would think it's very expensive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, it was at the time back when it first started, came out.
Okay.
But yeah, that's how I heard about it. That's how I learned about it. And then that's what piqued my interest.
You took a chance. You went to Sterling, you said?
Yep. I went to Sterling, and then, I tried it once in Sterling, and then I traveled a lot when I was in my corporate job. And, every city I went to, I would Google to see if they had cryotherapy. In the beginning, when I was searching, it was mainly just the bigger cities like California, New York, that are quicker to adopt things.
Okay.
But then as I kind of continued, I noticed cryo places were popping up all over.
Yeah.
And I started seeing that trend, which is why...
Kind of jumping on the bandwagon kind of
exactly.
thing? Like Bitcoin?
I don't know if you want to jump on that today. It's been dropping a lot.
Oh, well, I would say it's a good time to buy.
Yeah, there you go.
So it's always a win, high and low.
Exactly.
What I want to get into... So, I was going to go... So, when you had tendonitis in your elbow,
mm-hmm.
What... besides seeing it on ESPN, what got you to that, or preferably to then, physical therapy? Because I would think more if a physical therapist could help fix you in a way.
Yeah. The biggest thing was rest, right? So, what I, now, as a quote-unquote, professional or expert in cryotherapy, what I always like to tell people, cryotherapy is not a magic cure or a magic pill for anything.
Okay.
Right? So, I'm not here to tell you, Brian, that I jumped into a cryotherapy machine one time and my elbow was instantly fixed.
Right.
In addition to the cryotherapy, there's obviously rest, right? I laid off lifting a little, but cryotherapy helped to kind of expedite the healing and help my overall... There's other benefits that I felt in my body.
Right.
Why I didn't do something like physical therapy or anything is I knew I was being dumb to begin with, right? And I knew if I maybe gave myself time to rest and used other holistic methods to kind of help heal, I could try to get through that and see, where that took me.
Okay.
And that's kind of where I started.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm coming from the side where I'm very mindful when I'm very technical with my lifts.
Yeah.
So with my personal training, I want to teach you how to be aware of your body and really get that mind-muscle connection.
Yeah, absolutely.
To the point where you're efficient in terms of pushing as much weight you can.
Yeah.
But be also self-preventative on injuries.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but then I think that's where I was trying to get at. I'm still trying to get to like the root cause of your tendonitis.
Mhm.
How's your tendonitis now?
It's fine.
It's fine now.
It's fine. So my what caused it was I tried to do
The bench press.
Yeah,
right?
I was just too heavyweight, like too quickly, and it just was like a minor tweak, right? And I think if I were to just let it go, it would have been fine.
Okay.
But I wanted to be that meathead that now I don't even lift, but I don't have time. But yeah, and
you're
so
too busy helping other lifters.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. You're still doing a good cause. You're still doing a good cause. I don't know. I want you to flow with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So when you said you help a lot of people with anxiety, depression, in what way does cryotherapy help with that?
Yeah. So cryotherapy in itself, I'll kind of start from what I told you when you were in there. Cryotherapy is not a cure for anything.
Mm-hmm.
Cryotherapy is not medicine for anything.
Right.
Cryotherapy, really what it does is it helps activate your body.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is if you were to take, for example, ibuprofen or maybe something even like a prescription medication.
Yeah.
It's targeting a specific condition
Okay.
and it's trying to take care of that, right, in your side of your body.
Gotcha.
What cryotherapy does is cryotherapy is a tool that helps activate your body to enrich its blood, enrich your blood, increase kind of the efficacy of your own natural healing powers.
Okay.
So cryotherapy as a whole, we have so many people that come in and just like me will come in thinking, I want to use cryotherapy just for muscle recovery.
Okay.
But there's so many other benefits that cryotherapy has.
Right.
So when we talk about depression or anxiety, there's a natural endorphin rush and serotonin release that happens after cryotherapy.
Right. When you were saying when I was inside, the fight or flight mentality, and that's what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's after that response that's what happens with that endorphin rush. So it's similar to like when you work out, and after you work out, you kind of have that like high, feel good feeling.
Okay.
It's the same response. But what kind of studies have shown is if this is done consistently, it actually naturally increases your endorphin levels.
Okay.
And the endorphin levels are what help kind of
battle depression and anxiety.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. How often would you say someone has to come in to feel the effects for something like that?
That's a loaded question and a question that we get every single day.
Right.
It's at Thrive Cryo Studio, our approach is not you need to do this many sessions and that's the standard.
Well, like how do you prescribe programs?
So we tailor the number of sessions for each client that walks into the door. So you come into our door, we ask you, A, what you know about cryotherapy, because we want to educate you first. As I told you, that's my passion, educate.
Gotcha.
B, we ask you what you're coming in for. What are you hoping to get out of a cryotherapy session?
Okay.
And then C, we typically recommend kind of how many sessions it takes for the ailment or what they're looking for. So, for example, muscle recovery. If you're a healthy individual and you're just looking to reduce muscle soreness, it'll take probably about 4 to 6 sessions.
Okay.
Where you're feeling noticeable differences, where you're able to do a hard lift day or a hard run day if you're a marathon runner, and then you're able to jump back on your feet the next day.
Okay.
However, everybody's body is different, right? So if I were to lift super heavy today, and you were to lift super heavy today, and we both did cryotherapy, my bet would be that you're less sore tomorrow than I am, just because I haven't lifted as much as consistently. So everybody's body is different.
I see.
For like arthritis or inflammation or like acute injuries or even like chronic back pain and stuff like that, on average, based off of what our client feedback is between 8 to 12 sessions that people are feeling noticeable differences in their pain levels and that kind of stuff.
Okay. Well, getting into you, like what bothers you? What is like your fear? Because you said you're really big in education. How what made you get really big in education for the cryotherapy?
Yeah. What got me I'm going to answer both your questions kind of in my answer here.
There you
What got me into education was also my biggest fear.
What's that?
My biggest fear coming into this is cryotherapy is cool and it may be a fad, but a lot of people still don't know about it.
Right.
I'd say if you walk down a sidewalk in a busy street in DC or Bethesda or Rockville and you say, hey, what's whole body cryotherapy and what does it do for you?
You wouldn't
9 out of 10 people would not know what even you're talking about.
Yeah. I can see that.
The 1 out of 10 will typically say, oh yeah, that's where you freeze yourself. Or didn't someone die in a cryotherapy chamber?
Oh, I didn't even know that.
And so that's why I want to educate people, because we hear those responses a lot. First of all, I don't kind of run away from facts.
Okay.
Someone did die in a cryotherapy chamber.
What happened? Just hypothermia?
Nope. So she was an employee of a cryotherapy company in Las Vegas.
Okay.
It was after hours.
Uh-huh.
Doors were locked. She was the only one in. She went inside herself. They believe she dropped her phone in the bottom of the chamber.
Okay.
And that's why we have an attendant here and your head's up. If you go inside, if you breathe too much nitrogen, you just become lightheaded.
Okay.
And if you breathe too much of it, you can just faint. Now, in normal circumstances, if, let's say, God forbid, you were to faint in here, we're able to stop it. We open the door. You're fine. Right? Like,
you'll warm up naturally.
Yeah, the asphyxiation of oxygen is there. It's not even about the warmth or cold. It's just...
Oh, so she was just like...
She just breathed too much nitrogen.
Okay,
so,
gotcha.
And a lot of people are worried about nitrogen. We actually breathe 78% nitrogen in our atmosphere right now.
Okay, I can believe
so that. So it's part of it. But if there's too much oxygen or nitrogen that's displacing oxygen, you just get a little lightheaded and you will faint.
Okay.
Well, no one was there to turn off the machine. She was in an older version machine. This happened years ago, where the door didn't just open automatically, like it was not magnetic. So she was tiny, so she wasn't able to jar the door open.
Yeah.
So she froze to death because she was unconscious and no one was there to
and just stayed cold for so long. So I was in there for 3 minutes. Is there any time, like, do you ever go 5 minutes?
3 minutes is the maximum that we will do.
Okay.
Just due to safety reasons and the law of diminishing returns. We sometimes we'll do 2.5 minutes if it's someone's first time and they're super cold in there.
Do you have any requests, like any like pro players, like I would say like an NFL player, like get me in there longer, because I feel like
we do.
Yeah,
we do.
Do you ever do that?
If it's a pro player and you know they're used to it, we'll kind of cater to their needs
to them, because they're
and if they have experience, but we also warn them of the risks. And as long as they're okay with it, then But there are individuals that have been doing cryotherapy for a long time. We have a current Redskins player who's come in a couple times. His previous team actually had a cryotherapy chamber. He said he used to do 3 sessions in a row. So what he would do is go in the cryotherapy chamber, do like a set of 10 squats real quick, or a set of 10 squats, go back in the chamber, come out, do another set of 10 squats. So he's like getting like...
That sounds amazing.
Get his blood flowing, right? He gets his blood flowing through the squats and goes back in the chamber.
I kind of want to do that.
We don't have a squat bar here, but...
That'd be amazing for a meet if you have a mobile...
So we do have a mobile unit. It's we've been out a lot of private schools we go out to, football teams, basketball teams.
Okay.
So yeah.
Well, I'm reading your board right now. It says quicker recovery, burn calories. How do you burn calories and boost your metabolism through here?
So
it's like they said that the blood flow.
The blood flow, and your body's just trying to naturally warm yourself up, right? So it's kind of the response that you have in here is that fight or flight response that you mentioned earlier.
Right.
It's a similar fight or flight response to if you were to walk down a dark alley late at night and you see a group of 5 guys walking your way that don't look so pleasant.
Okay.
Right? You have that fight or flight response. Your body gets amped up.
Yeah.
You're energized. You don't know if you're going to get ready to fight or run.
Okay.
Either way, your body's preparing for that.
Gotcha.
There's a physiological effect that's going on in your body where you're burning calories because you're trying to survive, right? Same response that's going inside there.
Okay.
It's so cold.
So by just that excitement in your body, that's what burns calories?
And then, so this is similar to a workout, right? So a lot of people will say that they're much hungrier when they get out of here for the next couple of hours afterwards. Because of all the things that is happening that's going inside of your body during cryotherapy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have to test that theory.
Yup. You come in here probably like 5 days a week.
Yeah.
You'll have a six-pack soon, Brian.
Hey, that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. All right, let me get into my Facebook questions for you.
Okay. I hope they're not challenging.
I don't know. Let's figure it out. I'm definitely, the first one was price.
Okay.
What's the price point for coming in? Or do you have like packages?
So we have packages. As a first-time customer, we have a first-time customer special. You get 2 sessions for $60.
Okay.
So essentially $30 each. We do that because, you know, the first time that you come in here, a lot of people ask, why don't you just do 1 session for $30 then, as opposed for two for $60? And I say, the first time you come in here, you're a little nervous. You don't know what to expect.
Right.
You're a little tense in there. It's just like, it's not.
Oh, so you're saying I'm supposed to be like completely relaxed?
You have to be completely relaxed. If you're tense in there, you're keeping, like, if you flex your muscles, you're keeping the blood in your muscles. The idea is to just keep everything relaxed, or you're almost like slouching.
Okay.
To get all that blood flow out.
Question: when I'm in there, would it be bad if I'm like touching the wall, like if I'm leaning against the wall?
No.
Oh, I should have done that. I would have been super relaxed.
Yeah. But that's why I told you to shiver.
Okay.
Because a lot of people are like, no, I'm going to be tough. I don't want to look like I'm shivering in there.
Right.
If you're doing that, you're flexing your muscles, right?
Yeah.
And so that's why. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but now you know, right? So for your second session,
there you go.
You're in there. You'll be super relaxed, and you'll get more of the benefit.
I'm just gonna be leaning. Yeah, I've been here.
Exactly.
Laying around.
Exactly.
Well, yeah. Going back to, so you have the intro structure, 2 for $60.
2 for $60, and then we have
afterwards,
different packages. So we have a 3-pack, a 5-pack, a 10-pack.
Okay.
We also have monthly membership. So a single month membership, unlimited, meaning you can come in every day for a 30-day period.
Yeah.
That's $325.
Okay.
So if you came in every day and took advantage of it, it's like $11 and some change per session.
Gotcha.
For the diehards, we also have the 3-month membership.
Okay.
So you commit to 3 months.
Yeah.
And it's $275 per month, and it's unlimited. You can come in once a day, every day.
Okay. Sounds like a good deal.
Those look like a lot of questions, Brian. I don't know. I'm a bit nervous now.
It's not that many. Jay Zhang says, who should not use whole body cryotherapy?
It's a good question.
Yeah.
Pregnant females should not use whole body cryotherapy.
Okay.
Individuals with chronic, untreated hypertension or high blood pressure should not be using cryotherapy. Yeah. And that's why we also take your blood pressure with this handy dandy machine over here.
Gotcha.
People with chronic heart disease cannot use cryotherapy. Individuals that have cold allergies, meaning there's individuals out there that...
Like the flu? If you had the... What if you're sick? Like, kind of like the flu kind of thing.
So if you're sick, if you have a cold, we typically recommend against it, but there are studies that show that cryotherapy boosts your immune system.
I would assume so.
So cold and flu is okay, but when I talk about cold allergy, literally people, if they're exposed to cold, they break out in hives, or so if they have that type of allergy, then we recommend not against it.
Gotcha.
Other than that, really, it's available for anyone, and then obviously there's age restrictions, so anyone under the age of 14 typically should not be doing cryotherapy.
That makes sense. Is there like a higher end cap?
There is not a higher end cap, as long as, again, they don't have any heart disease and all that. So my oldest client is 82 years old.
Nice. What does he, she, or do?
Former jiu-jitsu master.
Oh.
Or current, I guess still.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he took it like a champ.
I think you kind of said this. Like, what are the risks of whole body cryotherapy?
Yeah. So the risk, if not done properly, and the safety measures and procedures aren't followed, if you're, not high enough in the chamber, you might breathe too much nitrogen. You can become a little lightheaded.
Okay.
Worst case, you might faint. That's, again, if your head is not outside of that chamber.
Okay.
And I think you're going to show the video of you inside that chamber, right? So, other risks, if you're coming from a workout and you're super sweaty, we don't allow you to go in there with super sweaty skin. Okay. So we have you dry off with a towel.
Makes sense.
And again, that's just so that moisture doesn't irritate your skin.
Yeah. It's going to freeze. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. Other risk is if you have body piercings, right? Again, metal gets colder than skin.
Oh.
Just don't want make sure there's no skin irritations. Other than that, there's not many risks to it.
Okay.
Again, as
Yeah.
done properly. I mean,
I figure it wouldn't be that many because your whole procedure just seems like
exactly.
dummy proof.
Yeah. I mean, and we follow procedures to a T. I'm very, very strict on that. We've done, since opening at this location, we've done over 25,000 cryotherapy sessions.
Wow.
At this location alone.
Gotcha. Busy guy.
Yeah.
Dan Wall asks whether the anti-inflammation properties of cryotherapy actually limit the inflammation needed for hypertrophy. So meaning like, would this restrict someone from getting gains? You think? I don't think so. Yeah.
No, it wouldn't. So the inflammation properties, if you're working out a lot, right, you're tearing, obviously, your muscles, right, to help them grow. This helps with the recovery of that.
Right.
So if you're working out a lot and you're trying to gain muscle, it's actually better for you to do something like this.
Yeah.
Because it helps you recover quicker.
Yeah.
And allows you to work out more as well.
Yeah, because I would assume, like, I just did it. I feel like I could work out now. Or do you feel like there's a limit if I just finish a session? Should be a time frame where I shouldn't work out yet?
There's no limitation. In fact, some people come in and use this as a natural pre-workout.
Okay.
Because like you said, you get that feeling of I'm energized, I'm loose.
Yeah.
Like I have more flexibility, I can go work out. We had a group of guys that were training for the NFL draft.
Okay.
And this was this past April, or before April, and one of them had a workout with the Redskins, and he said, you know what, I want to come in here before my workout, and then I'm going to go straight to Ashburn.
Ashburn, okay.
Because it loosens me up, it energizes me, I know I'm going to perform better because of it. So.
Okay. Makes sense. I'm trying to figure out the answer, or to translate this one. What does cryotherapy do to areas that need recovery? Does it flush them with nutrients and blood? I think you explained that in the beginning.
Exactly. So, and it's not just like, for example, we have individuals that will come in and say, I have extreme back pain.
Yeah.
Right? And they come in like focusing on their back pain.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they'll do, let's say, 2-3 sessions, and their back pain maybe stay about the same.
Yeah.
But what we can't control is
what they do outside of here.
Well, not even that, is we can't spot treat. Right? We can't say, okay, get in cryotherapy machine, fix this person's back.
Yeah.
Remember, cryotherapy is activating the body to help heal itself.
It's a facilitator.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we'll have the same guy that comes in and says,
it's not working.
My back, it feels the same. And then in that same sentence, he'll say, my knee feels so much better though, right? And so, and we say, that's great. Cryotherapy is working.
Yeah.
You might just have such deep-rooted inflammation in your back that it takes more sessions, whereas your knee, it may not take as many sessions to reduce some of that inflammation.
Okay.
Right? And there's so much enriched blood that is in your body that can work at one time as well.
I see.
So it helps, the enriched blood is what has the healing properties to heal inflammation and heal injuries. But answering his question, short answer is yes, it does help, but we can't spot treat, right? So it's a whole body response.
Okay. Yeah, so it doesn't really flush areas with nutrients and blood, but kind of just...
It flushes your entire body.
Okay.
So it's the concept of vasoconstriction and vasodilation.
Okay.
So when you're in there, again, your vessels constrict,
Yeah.
bringing all the blood to your core.
Right.
While that blood is circulating through your core...
It's kind of like filtering.
It's getting filtered through your liver, your kidneys, it's being enriched with oxygen, nutrients, and enzyme. So what he's referring to in that flush of nutrient-enriched blood is when you get out, vasodilation occurs.
Okay.
Where your veins dilate and a rush of blood goes back out to the rest of your body.
Right.
Now, it doesn't mean that the rush of enriched blood is going to one specific area, but your body is smart enough to know, okay,
what needs the recovery.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. And my advice to that would be like to what you were saying to your one of their clients that always comes back with the chronic injury would be like figure out the root cause of that.
Exactly.
Like it could be you have a bad mattress.
Yeah.
You'd be sleeping wrong. You're slouching at your desk all day.
Yeah.
Because I understand that. For me, coming from being an athlete and then working a 9 to 5, there's no way of like fixing yourself. You're seated
Absolutely.
for so long. You just got to be self-aware.
Yeah.
And just mindful of your body.
Even like with these days with people like on their phone, you're always like looking down, so your posture's just naturally like this, texting and
Right.
all that. So something that I've been cognizant of too, because I feel like I'm always slouching.
Yeah.
So I need to.
So I guess with that, do you ever think you're gonna work? Are you working with anyone to do? I'm thinking more like a rehab type of thing, or like what I'm really thinking is like physical therapy.
Yeah.
To work with them to help have like a whole package.
Yeah.
So you as a facilitator with the cryotherapy, and then sending them or working with another.
So we work with
facility?
a select number of physical therapists in the area.
Okay, gotcha.
Ones that we recommend are ones that we go to see their offices ourselves, know their quality of work,
Okay.
and before we endorse them.
Yeah.
And the physical therapy and physical therapists
Yeah.
are a complement to cryotherapy.
Yes.
And cryotherapy is a complement to physical therapy.
Okay.
So it's not one replaces the other.
Right.
I'm not saying cryotherapy replaces any of these alternative medicine. Overall health, as you know, is not about one thing, but it's about 5 different things, right? And recovery is one, exercise, diet, sleep, all of that. And so cryotherapy is one of those, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. So, so you really do, it's kind of like a whole package there then.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you refer, get them better. Could you share one story, I guess, in that way?
So I'll give you a great story. We had a woman, she is a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
She fell off of a stool in her classroom and went to go brace herself and tore her rotator cuff.
Ouch.
So she had scheduled surgery. She had scheduled surgery in December. This was August, though.
Okay.
She was in such pain because she couldn't sleep with her torn rotator cuff that she would come in here literally every day after school, and it helped her tremendously with the pain management until she got surgery.
Okay.
She finally got surgery. After surgery, now it's my arm is tight, and when I go to physical therapy, as she says, I get wrenched every different way, and I'm more sore just like before surgery.
Right.
So she would come in, she would go to physical therapy, and straight from physical therapy come here to get into cryotherapy, and she said it helped reduce that pain, helped increase her mobility and range of motion, and helped her sleep better. So she continued probably, I think it was like the 2 months after she was continuing physical therapy. We haven't seen her since, which is fine.
Yeah,
it's great because she's
better,
right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not in the business of like retaining people every day if it's not needed, and that's the ultimate goal with cryotherapy.
Okay. How long did she come in prior to her surgery?
About 3 months. So she August, September, October.
So a total of 5 months for full recovery.
Yep.
Okay.
But keep in mind that the recovery aspect was only from December through like the end of February.
Okay.
She was coming in before surgery just to kind of help manage pain. The pain management of the torn rotator cuff.
Oh, okay. I think that really answers the next question, which is going to be, do you have to do constant visits to cryotherapy after your first visit?
Yeah. So
it depends on
the individual. It depends what they're doing cryotherapy for. It depends, So, for you, Brian, you're a big lifter. If you want to reduce muscle soreness, you can't just do this 2 times and then expect that this is going to take care of you for the rest of your life as far as muscle soreness.
Yeah.
If someone's coming in for pain and inflammation, if it's an acute injury,
yeah,
they can do cryotherapy, and if that injury is healed, then no, they don't have to come back.
Okay.
If it's something where your joints are constantly inflamed or something, what we say is you'll come in for a certain number of time. Afterwards, you don't have to come in as often.
Yeah.
You'll just maintain.
Okay. And then for like maintaining, is this depending on the individual, or would you say like maybe like once a week, once a month?
Depends on the individual and what they're coming in for.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. So now I get to my point where I like to get into.
Okay.
I want to get into you.
Oh, God.
Yeah. My favorite question I always like to ask my guests is, could you tell me the 5 close people you associate with?
5 closest people that I associate with, like right now.
Yeah.
My family.
Okay.
So I'll
you have a big family?
No, not my immediate family, but I'm a
Okay.
big family man.
Gotcha.
So, my parents, my sister, talk to them every day.
Okay.
My best friend, talk to him every day.
What does he do?
He's a ATF agent in
ATF.
Baltimore.
ATF. What does that stand for?
Alcohol, tobacco, firearms.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yep.
And so mom, dad, best friend.
Best friend, sister. So
Sister.
we'll group family into one if you want.
Okay.
My fiance.
Mm-hmm.
I have no choice.
She's
I hope she
also a
doesn't see
doctor.
this. She's a dietitian.
Dietitian. Okay.
Yeah, she's a dietitian. A registered dietitian.
Gotcha.
And then at this point in my life, my employees.
Your employees.
So those are the 5 groups of individuals that I'm
Always around.
and always talking to.
The reason why I like to ask that question is because I feel like as an entrepreneur or someone who I feel is successful, which is someone who's happy to be where they are, kind of like what you're saying, like you want to educate and you are doing that.
Yeah.
You have to have a support system.
Yep.
One, which is like your family, your family, your fiance. You can say that.
My friend.
Your friend.
Yeah.
Your friend. And ATF. How would you say? Because I guess for me too, it was always who you surround yourself with, what helps you build what you're gonna do.
Yeah. Well, I think it's like.
I guess more support system for you.
So I don't like. There's a chart that I align with very well, and it's like a little bar chart that says like life of an entrepreneur, right? And it like shows like it going up, and it's like I'm on top of the moon, and then like the next hour, it's like
the
it's
iceberg meme. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I've seen that too.
Yeah.
But this like chart or whatever, it's kind of like Bitcoin's price, right? So it goes up, and it's like, man, like I'm the best entrepreneur ever. And like the next hour, it's like,
what am I doing?
Well, what am I doing? Like, I suck. And then it's like, yes, great decision. And then it's like, I'm going to go bankrupt. Right?
Yeah.
And so like, I've learned this for the first time. Like, there's a lot of ups and downs as being an entrepreneur. Like, you don't know where that next kind of sale is going to come from, or you don't know if, there's a lot of stresses in life, like just in the business alone. So I think the support system, like I think someone like my best friend, he's able to just, when I'm low or like when I'm like, I don't know, man, I'm going back to the corporate world. He's like, dude, like, why are you doing that? You know, and it's like a nice little pick me up.
Okay.
So like that's good, and he levels me and grounds me too, and it's like also good to just like chat about as a small business owner, especially like. All you think about, or all I think about 24/7 is thrive, right? That's all I think about. So it's like,
and that's how you got the name, basically. No,
I mean, yeah. So my goal with the name Thrive is I want to help each individual thrive
in whatever
they want. So if they want to thrive to be pain free, we can help them with that. If they want to thrive to be like the best athlete, we can help them do that.
Right.
If they want to, whatever that they want to thrive towards, and that's why we kind of chose that name.
Okay, so to give you a little background for me too, it's the reason why I became a personal trainer is because I felt like I couldn't make it into pro athletes. Yeah. So like going through high school, I played running back. Like I've scored a couple of touchdowns. I wrestled. I had a good promise, but I just knew I couldn't take it that far. Yeah. Just me with my like height, frame, and just my field. So my next best bet is like, I want to get anyone who is able to get there.
Exactly.
So I think this is where we relate very well on this point.
Absolutely.
I think, so off of that entrepreneurial standpoint, I want to ask, what was the best advice you've ever been given for like entrepreneurially wise? Or it is in general too.
Gosh, that's a lot. Because I listen to a lot of podcasts as well. And
gotcha.
It's, I'll tell you how I like kind of live. Okay. If that works.
Sure.
Always positive energy.
Okay.
Just that's
I can see that in your energy.
Yeah. Just number one, always positive energy.
Okay.
You're gonna have life's not easy, right? And even the people that you look towards or look, you want to be, they have stuff going on in their life too. Right. And it's just how you handle it and how you look at it and how you display it. So positive energy, number one. Okay. Never give up. Gotcha. I listened to a podcast yesterday where this guy basically said, all of his successes
Mm-hmm.
came after major failures, right?
Makes
So never
to me,
give up.
I relate that to the fight or flight. You can't have your highs without the lows.
Exactly.
And how low you go is
Exactly.
be dependent on
And
how
that's
high
mental
you
toughness too, right?
Right.
If you, within the first 30 seconds, say, I'm done, it's too cold,
are. Yeah.
you're not going to reap the benefits of what cryotherapy has.
Right.
Because it takes more than 30 seconds to feel the benefits.
Good connection.
Yeah.
I like that.
So, I would say take those three things: positivity, never give up. Don't be scared of failures.
Okay.
And failing.
Yeah.
A lot of people look at failures as like a negative, or look
Or
down
just
on
a negative.
or just negative,
Yeah.
right? And you look at every successful entrepreneur;
Mm-hmm.
they've all failed and failed multiple times.
Right.
It's how you learn from it, how you grow from it, and how you move on from it.
Being able to see the big picture
Exactly.
is the biggest thing. I want to talk to you about podcasts. Who do you listen to?
It depends on the day. I listen
Really?
to Gary Vee, Tony Robbins, Tim Ferriss, Joe Rogan. I don't even know the name of some of these earning passive income and
Okay.
motivational type stuff.
Okay.
So because we,
I'm on the same path.
yeah,
I'm on the same path. Tim Ferriss is a big reason why I started doing this.
yeah. Tim
Okay.
Ferriss is awesome. I don't know if you've listened to Gary Vee before.
I've listened to Gary Vee.
I love Gary Vee. He's just like a straight shooter, just cusses up a storm, and it's just he tells you how it is.
For me, I think at this point, I'm shying away from him because I understand his message.
Yeah.
And
His message is
I get
grind.
it. Right.
Yeah, it's grind.
I don't really need to listen to him anymore. So right now, what I'm really doing, I'm a big fan of Larry King right now
Okay.
because of his style and his speaking. I really want to become a really great communicator.
Yeah.
And listening to Larry King talk in all of his interviews,
Mm-hmm.
he has so much command. It
Really?
It just, like, skips
I've
the
never
start.
listened to Larry King's podcast, so I'll have to listen to that.
He has a show. He still has a show. He has his own television network.
Yeah, I know.
Larry
okay.
King Now.
Yeah. Okay.
So listening to him and then talking about how he just handles people and whatever, when he was talking about if someone would freak out in your cryotherapy chamber,
Yeah.
he would kind of have no emotion. He would have so much composure that it's suck it up, just
And
keep going.
exactly.
If you want to get out, just get out.
Yeah.
And then I think internally for the person in the chamber would be like, I'm not gonna be a bitch in head. So all right, I'm gonna stay here a little bit longer.
Exactly.
So that he really is a big motivator
That's
to me.
awesome. I'll have to listen to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a lot of road time because I'm going up to Annapolis a lot too for our second location.
Uh-huh.
So when I'm going up there, I much rather listen to podcasts than
Radio.
whatever's on the
Music.
radio. So
Okay. So how do you feel about music right now too?
I don't really listen to music.
You don't listen to music at all? Huh.
No.
So music isn't a big motivator to you?
No. I've never been a big music guy. I don't know why.
Really?
Yeah.
How are you in art?
Terrible.
Terrible?
I'm not artistic. I don't have a creative side. Maybe that's why.
Huh. So I guess I think I want to ask you is more what was your last straw in the corporate world to get into the entrepreneurial world? Because I'm kind of in that transitionary period too.
Yeah. Boredom.
Boredom? How long were you in the corporate world?
11 years. 12 years.
Okay.
So I had, I did sales. I did sales management. I did process improvement, change management consulting for the government.
Okay.
I had I experienced different companies, different jobs, and I'll tell you, in the 2 years that I've had Thrive, I have never one day been like, man, what time do I get off? Or looking at the clock.
Right.
I feel like I don't have enough time in the day now.
Yes.
Right? Whereas in the corporate world,
I'm just waiting until 5 o'clock.
I get in at 7 a.m. At 8 a.m. I'm like, oh, so
Yeah.
I think it was that. I think I've always had the entrepreneurial
What took you that 11,
spirit.
12 years?
Exactly. I've always had the entrepreneurial spirit. About 6 years ago, while I was doing my corporate job, I started a nightlife bus company.
Okay.
I did
Party
that.
bus?
Kind of like a party bus, but not exactly. So we were basically a nighttime ride-on bus. So we would operate from 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. And at the time, we were going to like Bethesda, DuPont, and Georgetown when those were like more of the hit spots.
Yeah.
And we partnered with 36 bars in all those areas. So if you hopped on our bus, you got a wristband, and you could skip the line at all the bars that we partnered with. You get drink specials, free shots at some of the bars.
How'd you get into that?
Again,
We're just going out a lot, and then like,
I was going.
I need a ride.
Exactly, I was going out a lot. This was before like Uber was like really, really big.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think we could do this. So,
time to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Thanks, Mike. So I was like, I'm gonna try this, and mapped out all the logistics, hired a team of bouncers and people to work all these stops, and so I did that for like a year, and obviously just with Uber and stuff, it
ran you out of business.
it essentially, right? Like I found myself, why would I go to this stop when I can get picked up at home, right? So did that, and I've always had the itch for being an entrepreneur.
Okay, I like it. What was your hardest part about setting up here then too? That's my biggest thing. Like that first step of like getting your own,
writing a check. Writing your first big check.
Right.
It's kind of scary, and like,
was that like getting a loan or?
No, I've been lucky enough in my professional career where I was able to save enough money to kind of maintain or contribute my own money to starting this, and making sure that I had a nice runway in case I didn't make any money, at first. Starting a small business, I will reiterate, it's hard, man. It's I met with a guy who's pretty successful himself, and I was telling him what I was doing, and he kind of sensed some like discouragement from me because I was like, I'm like not as profitable as I thought I'd be, or not that I'm like looking for like huge profits, right? And he said, Brandon, you're how many years into this business? I was like, at this time, I was like 1.5, like one year, a little over 1 year in. He's like, do you realize, and I forgot the number he threw at me, but it was like something outrageous, like 92% of small businesses fail before they even hit the 1 year mark. And like, I think that like hit me because I think everyone by nature is always looking at, man, I'm not at that goal. Or once you get to that goal, it's like, man, I'm not at that next goal.
Right.
Where you don't think
about the process. Like
you don't think about the process, and you don't take time to like look back at your accomplishments, right? And that's something like I struggle with because I always am like go, look forward. Yeah. Like I'll sit back and say, we've had over 6,000 unique individuals that have walked through these doors. That's huge. Over 25,000 sessions. That's huge. Right?
And you've networked a lot. Now you know pro football players, basketball players.
Exactly, yeah. I know, like, I've had super influential people that I've met. And not just, like, celebrities, but just, like, businessmen that have come in here and that I get to know on a personal level. And I get to, like, I have these personal relationships now with all these people. Getting to be on a podcast with you, Ryan. It's like, it's all these things that, I'm a big believer in just, like, fate. Everything happens for a reason, right?
Yeah.
And whatever Thrive becomes and whatever I get out of Thrive, I'm going to look back at it 20 years after it's all said and done and say, that's the reason why I was led down that path.
Okay.
And so I'm just keep on trucking on.
I love it. Well, speaking on these big influential people, do you say you have a mentor, a philosophy you stand by?
I tried to learn from everyone.
Okay, so you're just picking pieces of what you like.
You
never really had a mentor?
Not one single mentor. I'm humble enough to know that I don't know anything.
Okay.
Point blank.
Yeah.
I love giving advice. I love helping people out.
Yeah.
But I love learning as well. I love picking out any successful individual and asking them questions.
Gotcha.
Whether it's like, how did you get started?
Yeah.
What made you think to start this business? Kind of, just like questions that I get asked a lot too, right? But I like asking those questions because I feel like if it's even just like a tidbit of information, it's worth
Gets the ball
Goal.
rolling.
Exactly.
Once you get momentum, ball rolls faster.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
One other question I want to talk to you about your. Well, I guess rewind myself real quick. Stoicism. You follow Tim Ferriss. Do you follow? You believe in that? Stoicism? No. Have you?
I don't know it too well.
Okay.
So I haven't listened to.
Are you big in a reader?
I
No.
try.
You try?
I
Not
get
really.
distracted. I have ADD.
Gotcha.
I can't get
I believe
distracted
you.
easily.
Okay.
You've seen me walking around the gym, Brian.
Conversation to conversation.
Exactly.
Conversation. Okay, no worries. It would be like another thing. But I guess for me, how do you hire?
Yeah.
In terms of how do you work? You said your employees have been a big influence in your association or in your life. How do you pick and choose the people you surround yourself with?
I look for people smarter than me.
Okay.
Point blank.
Gotcha.
And if my employees hear this, they'll probably ask for a raise. Every single employee that I have here is overqualified for the job. Point blank.
Okay.
They're not making enough. They're not making what they're worth.
Okay.
I unfortunately can't pay them what they're worth, but that's huge for me. And so I get no greater pleasure than hearing compliments on our staff and our team because customer service is the most important thing to me, bar none.
Okay.
Anyone can get a cryotherapy chamber, put it in a room, and say, jump in this cold machine.
Yeah.
It's all about the experience, and it's all about the individuals that conduct that experience.
Gotcha.
And so I look for a lot of things when I put out a job ad, just because this is like a craze now.
Yeah.
We get a lot of applicants. It's tough finding individuals, to be quite honest.
I can really believe that.
A lot of the time, I end up not even like looking at. End up going through all the applicants and saying, I don't even want to call any of these people, so I have to go out
and find them.
So I'm literally going to your retail stores, going to wherever you're interacting with other employees.
Yeah.
And if I get like a good experience with someone, I'll kind of ask them on the side and say, hey, would you be interested?
Wow, okay. Yeah. That's super cool. Okay. So, I mean, for me, I'm really big into... I think, to me, like myself, I think I'm more introverted. So, like, I think from you looking at me at the gym, I'm kind of to myself. I'm just with my clients. I do my thing with them. I have a good time with them. But then, for me, the hardest part was to branch out.
Yeah.
So, the same thing like how you were, like, reaching out to bars and whatnot. But the way I found myself finding the people that I want to be close to is through, like, almost kind of like tests. So, like, the first thing when I was younger, it would be, like, astrology.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Asking when your birthday, then I figure out with that. But then I realized it was not, like, a go-to thing. So I kind of got into Myers-Briggs.
Myers-Briggs, yep.
Yeah. And then I started getting from, like, retail jobs to personal training. And I started realizing in order for me to give my clients a good experience, I need to understand how they think.
Absolutely.
Rather than just giving them information.
Yeah.
Kind of like what you were saying with being here.
Absolutely. Yeah. Everyone's different.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so you just do it off intuition.
Yeah.
That is that's your gift.
But we do, we go through an interview process.
Right.
We go through 2 interview processes. We have them come and shadow for half a day. Just to ensure that they like it too.
Yeah.
But just to give you an example, one of my employees is the founder of a nonprofit that helps injured athletes.
Wow.
One of my employees is in nursing school right now.
Okay.
One of my employees is a former college cheerleader and a certified personal trainer.
Okay.
Here, one of my manager at the Rockville location, she worked in the corporate world as well. Now she owns a CrossFit gym with her husband.
Wow.
And works here as well. So, again,
overqualified.
They're overqualified. They're overqualified. And so, if you can just not send this podcast to them, that'd be great.
Oh, I'll try my best not to share it to everybody. I think one other thing would be on my tablet. It'd be the final couple questions. And that is... I think I already got them. I think I got everything.
We covered everything, huh?
Yeah. It would be like... dumb questions. What's your guilty pleasure?
French fries and pizza.
French fries and pizza. I love that too. I'm a big kick on gyros.
Yeah.
Mediterranean food has been my.
Do you go to $5 gyros on Wednesday?
What's that? The Greek deli?
Greek Cafe?
Greek Cafe?
On Wednesdays, $5.
I've been there, but I'm not
a fan of them?
Not a big
Where's your
fan.
favorite gyro?
It's over in DC on 19th Street.
What's it called?
It's Greek Deli. It's called the Greek Deli. Yeah.
Are you ever in Virginia a lot?
Not really.
Like Tyson's?
Tyson, yeah.
Tyson's. There's a place called Maggio's.
Maggio's. Okay.
Best gyro I've had.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I gotta try it now.
Maggio's, yeah. You gotta try it.
Are you a big foodie?
I'm a big foodie. Yeah. I eat too much.
What's your favorite food? Pizza or no?
No. I love it all. I really do. I literally love it all.
If it was your last day, or if you were in death row, last meal, and beverage, what would it be?
That's tough. That is tough.
Me being in the military, we're in the desert all the time. We ask this question all the time.
Oh man!
I'll throw mine out. Would be a prime rib with a milkshake, fries, and what is it? Cornbread.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a lot of thought into it. I couldn't tell you right now. I feel like I'm pressured, and like because I'm pressured, I would just have to say pizza. But
yeah.
I don't know. My fiance will tell you I'll eat a whole meal and say it was my appetizer, and then I'll be like, let's go to another restaurant. So
would be another type of food restaurant, or would you like the same thing?
No, it's a different type of food.
I like that. Yeah. I like that. Okay. Space travel or time travel? What would you rather do?
Space travel.
Space travel?
Yeah. I don't care about the future. It's going to scare me when I get there.
The past? Would you never travel back in the past? I kind of want to see dinosaurs.
No, dinosaurs would freak me out too.
It would freak me out. But I just want to see it. Something like 10 feet tall.
Driving, and I'm sure you can relate as well, but like driving to Annapolis as much as I have.
Yeah.
And like traveling as much as like I'd love to be like on a beach.
Yeah.
If I could be
somewhere neat.
Like that on a beach like right now and then come back here in the morning like that, I would. So I think it would definitely be space travel.
Okay. Makes sense.
Is that what you meant by space travel, or did you mean travel to space?
Yeah, I thought like universe.
I thought you meant travel, like instantly be from here to somewhere else.
Like the Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Would you want to live on Mars type of thing?
No, I don't know if I will. Okay, so in that case, it would be time travel.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can.
Sorry, I misunderstood the question.
No worries. No worries. What is your most cherished memory?
Oh, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
No? Nothing just comes to your head?
Oh,
You couldn't even say this?
This podcast, obviously.
Your studio.
No, this isn't a memory yet.
No?
No. This is...
Like your first day when you wrote that check, like this is your first location. Now you have 2 locations.
That's not in my memory bank yet, right? That's still like a...
It's still fresh.
I think when all said and done, whatever happens with Thrive, whether it's I sit back and retire or we can continue to grow it, or something else happens, the book's not finished with Thrive yet. So I don't view this as a cherished memory yet.
Yeah?
That's a good question. I don't know. Just a lot of like family stuff comes to mind. I'm a big family guy.
Would you say a certain birthday?
No, I would say probably our last family trip. We went on a cruise, probably like 2-3 years ago, and it was my entire family, and it was just great.
Good bonding time.
Yeah, great relaxation over the holidays.
Nice. Was it just past Christmas?
No, it was 3 Christmases ago. But like it was it was fun. It was good.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Speaking on fun, what always makes you laugh? You can say that.
Making fun of people.
I'm
joking. I'm a nice guy.
Oh no, I have a dream. Honestly, when I was in the 5th grade, I wanted to be a stand-up comedian. And then you said you listened to Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Listening to Joe Rogan, listening to Whitney Cummings. I didn't know she was a DC native.
No, I didn't either.
And I don't know. There's a part of me that kind of wants to like get on stage.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just a big jokester in general. So
yeah.
I like laughing a lot. Life's too short to just like be down or like to take things too seriously. I always use the phrase, "What's the worst that can happen?" and then I always use the 24-hour rule.
What is that?
Whatever happens. Whatever happens in life that gets you upset, down, whatever, you can sulk about it, you can be upset about it, but you have 24 hours. After 24 hours, I say, Brandon, move on.
So, okay, that's a big thing.
Take steps to move on, do whatever you need to do, whatever happens. You know, obviously, if it's like, you know, like if you lose a loved one, obviously, yeah, you're going to feel sad after 24 hours, right? But you can't change that. Like, I couldn't change the loss of my grandma. Right.
Okay.
So you have to take it in perspective. Yes, I'm still sad after 24 hours, but I'm not going to just sit there and just be like, I miss my grandma.
Right.
Right? I miss my grandma.
Yeah.
Right? You can't fixate on it. And so it's a 24-hour rule.
You learned kind of like how to just detach, kind of. It's still in your memory, but you can detach the...
And my fiance will say I'm too good at that. I'm too practical at everything. I just don't show emotion on things, but I feel like I just like...
It's essential to be an entrepreneur, because there's so many ups and downs.
So many ups and downs.
Like, you can't dwell on it.
Exactly.
Okay, I love that. I love that. Yeah. And I guess I'll wrap it up on this one. How do you define success?
I've actually been asked this in an interview question.
There you go.
I define success as a goal that someone has for themselves and achieving that goal.
Okay. So that's
a very abstract answer.
Right.
But a lot of people, I feel like, will say, if I have a $5 million house and a Lamborghini, I'm successful. Or if I have, I don't know, 3 wives, I'm successful, right?
Yeah.
Or if I have...
Those are materialistic
If
ones.
I have 10 locations of Thrive Cryo Studio, I am successful. I truly believe success is a balance.
Yeah.
And so if I sell my soul to get 10 locations,
it's not worth it.
It's not worth it.
Yeah.
And I put everyone to the side, my family, my fiance, my friends, my health.
Yeah.
I'm not successful. And so, but if you have a goal and you're able to achieve it with balance, that's success.
Okay. Appreciate your time, Brandon.
Of course, man.
I love it.
Thanks, man.
Until next time.
I definitely forgot to put an outro on this video. If you want to find Thrive Cryo Studio, they have a location in Rockville by Twin Brook Station. I'll put the address in the description below, and also in Annapolis. www.thrivecryostudio.com. Same with their IG, Facebook. And if you want to support the podcast, cop some apparel from me. SumoLiftsApparel.com. And peace.